Hi, I'm Jay,
Hi, I'm Alyssa.
Hello, I'm Ita.
and these are some of our favorite books from the 2023 summer reading lists.
Seven Salazar has been waiting for her Black Moon ceremony. She can't wait to be placed into House Hyacinth with her best friend and come into her full powers as a witch. Unfortunately, Seven isn't placed into any of the five covens. She's a spare, a leftover witch with lesser powers looked down upon by everyone. To make things even worse, when she and her two fellow spares perform the magic to seal their coven, it doesn't work. They're stuck as witchlings and will lose their magic forever. Seven invokes her only option, the impossible task, and the three witches must work together to complete the task, seal their coven, and gain their full powers. If they fail? Well, the last set of spares to attempt the impossible task were turned into frogs. If you're a fan of strong girl magic fantasies such as Amari and the Night Brothers, Eva Evergreen, or Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow, you'll enjoy Witchlings by Clarabelle Ortega.
Hazel Rothbury is leaving her family and going to join her aunt in America. She needs to find a job to help her family now that her father has died. She tries to buy a ticket to board the Titanic, only to discover that she does not have enough money and is left with no choice but to stow away. We know what happened to the Titanic, but what happened to Hazel and the friends she makes on board? This story is fiction, but Jennifer Nielsen brings it to life by using a true story from history and interspersing illustrations of artifacts from the Titanic. There is also an afterword which separates the fact from fiction.
If you loved the Witch Boy series by Molly Knox Ostertag or Xanthi Booma's illustration work in the Five Worlds comics, you will love their collaboration on D&D Dungeon Club Roll Call. Best friends Jess and Olivia love escaping into their imaginations in the fantasy world they create together playing Dungeons & Dragons. Olivia wants to welcome more players into their campaign by starting a club at school, but Jess isn't so great at making new friends. So bad, actually, that it threatens both the campaign and their original friendship. The comic brings the role-playing game sessions to life, and the coloring of the illustrations is just stunning. You won't want to miss D&D Dungeon Club Roll Call by Molly Knox Ostertag and Xanthi Booma.
DJ is starting over at a new school, retired from his previous life of cons, heists, and schemes. That is, until his best friend and former partner in crime, Connor, transfers to his new school and promptly runs into trouble with the school's medicine kingpin. Now DJ has 2 weeks to come up with an astronomical 100,000 prize tickets from a local video game franchise, or face a brutal rocket boost into social exile. DJ must compile a new crew and craft and complete an elaborate con under the nose of the arcade's suspicious manager. A smart and vivid cast and an entertaining adventure, High Score by Destiny Howell is perfect for fans of heist stories, fans of Gordon Corman and Varian Johnson, or series like Spy School and City Spies.
Trouble's a brewin' in Howler's Hollow. Delpha McGill is strictly forbidden from practicing magic, and when she finds her family's book of spells tucked away in a closet, the temptation to enchant away her and her mother's financial woes is a little too great. Meanwhile, Katie Bird Hearn, a daughter of the Hollow's rival wizarding family, is worried about her magic only coming in fits and starts. When a squabble between the girls leads to accidentally raising a graveyard full of their feuding ancestors, they'll need to band together to save their town from zombie-wrought destruction. Hop aboard the enchanted outhouse for a raucous magical adventure in Cattywampus by Ash Van Otterloo.
Sai, the last mapmaker, knows she cannot change her past, but she can work to change her future. By chance, she becomes an apprentice to a mapmaker, and this provides an opportunity to join a ship going on a discovery expedition. All the while Sai keeps her secret. Can she find her place in the world and still do the right thing? In this fantasy story, Christina Surtanvat creates a world inspired by her Thai heritage. It is so descriptive, I thought I could smell salt air on the wind. There are some twists and turns, and it will keep you engrossed until the end, rooting for Sai.
Soon after master counterfeiter Ben Boyd is hauled off to prison by the Secret Service, members of his counterfeiting ring gather to plan how to spring their ringleader. Their plan? Grab Lincoln's body from its Springfield, Illinois tomb, stash it in the sand dunes near Lake Michigan, and demand as ransom the release of Ben Boyd and $200,000 in cash. Lincoln's Grave Robbers by Steve Shankin reads like an amazingly suspenseful thriller novel, but it's entirely true. Follow both the conspirators and the Secret Service agents hot on their trail, and along the way, get a glimpse into the inner workings of counterfeiting, grave robbing, detective work, presidential campaigns and elections, and the early days of the Secret Service. This page-turner narrative nonfiction book is perfect for readers who enjoy suspense stories, mysteries, and thrillers, as well as fans of history.
This book, Hardcourt, is a history of the NBA, the National Basketball Association. It covers the story of the NBA from its beginnings in 1946 to the present day. The book is broken down into sections from the tip-off to after the buzzer. Even if you are not a basketball fan, this book is fascinating as it covers everything from the invention of basketball to many of its players, both pioneers and superstars. It is hard to believe that at one point the league was down to 8 teams and empty stadiums, but now it is a global phenomenon. And James E. Ransom's rich, full-page watercolor illustrations really capture the action and the excitement of the game.
These days, it's not uncommon to live well into your 80s, but 100 years ago, people in the United States could only expect to live into their 40s. In Extra Life, the astonishing story of how we doubled our lifespan, Steven Johnson chronicles 8 major advancements that have contributed to longer life. You're likely already familiar with some of the science and technology innovations covered, like vaccines and antibiotics, but what I really like about this book is that the author consistently looks beyond the big-name, lone genius heroes of these stories to show the collaborative network of people, cultures, and organizations working sometimes together and sometimes separately towards progress. If you're interested in getting a more nuanced understanding of some of the history of the science of public health, be sure to check out Extra Life by Steven Johnson.